basically what occurred in there when I was finished with that lesson, something else came to mind, and I felt that I needed to bring this forth. And I came up with this topic: how to use the stock market to also practice group economics. And let me just share my screen. Let me come out of here. Give me a moment. Just give me a moment. Okay, I need to pull up. Okay, so now I'm sharing my screen. Okay, so last week I basically went over, let me just move this over here, investing basics, stock market basics 103. And in this segment, we went over, I always have a disclaimer, several topics. We went over starting a business, when how businesses are actually formed, from the small moms and pops, when a business is a small business going public and becoming a corporation. So we went over that this takes place by sometimes these small businesses. Let's say the person that is a chef, and they work out of home, and they have a catering service, and they want to do it large. They're using their stove, so now they need money to have a factory. Okay, and we went over last week about how they go to angel investors to invest, as well as going to venture capitalists, and then those venture capitalists refer them to institutional investors, such as like the bank, and then the bank basically buys a block of shares from this particular small business company, and now the company is going, signs an underwriting agreement, and then they are going on the stock market now for initial public offering. Okay, and then there's the second offering. And I want to stop right here. No, let me stop right here. Because in this segment here, what I want to basically say that's very important as it relates to practicing and building group economics within your community. You can do it with your family, with friends. I've been reading, I've read a book, and the book is called The New Jim Crow, and it's written by Michelle Alexander. And basically what Michelle teaches us is that one of the aims of the new era, as in mass incarceration, is basically to prevent Blacks from entering the job market. So by hiring your own people, you can give an opportunity to a member of that community that basically may not have a chance, to demonstrate their talents and their skills in the job market, right? And this is one of the reasons why in building group economics is basically very, very important in our communities. In many ways that we can do this, because we solely seen last week when I did this broadcast, when I went through how companies are actually formed. This initial public offering here, which I want to discuss in depth, and it goes along with my book that will be coming out soon. I want to go into depth about this because this is a very important factor for folks to basically understand, and how these big corporations are formed. So what basically, when we don't support our small Black businesses, then we do ourselves a disservice in our communities, with our families, and with each other as a whole. And I can honestly say that this basically, it really hits home for me, and with passion, that I teach on the subject, because even in my own family, and this has been really bothering me since my dad had passed away. There is land in my family, and my dad's family. There's a lot of us in that land, and it's a lot of land in Virginia. And the sad part about it is that the property, it grows trees, so we make a lot of money off of that. But trees grow every 10 years. So there are people that members of my family, and I don't like to put my family business out there, but I will use it as an example because it's real. It's real, and it's a situation that there has to be something done about it, and it needs to be corrected, because it makes no sense to me. With passion, it makes no sense. So you have folks that, we as Black people, we don't own land, so when you have land that was given from your ancestors, you want to cherish that. You want to grow upon that. And many people don't want to even be bothered. So, what it boils down to is that we have to buy folks out. But who wants to do that? Because when the ancestors built this land and they harvest on this land, they left it for the family, right? So you would want to go along and follow suit with what the ancestors want. So folks don't want to be involved for many different reasons, and many different reasons I don't even know. Matter of fact, I really don't even want to know, but there are many of us that are cultivating on it, and we're doing stuff with it, but it should be the majority. And this is what goes on, in our communities. It goes on with our families. It hits home so much that there has to be, I always look for solution to it. And as I was doing this, and it made me think of Michelle Alexander's book, is that if we don't start creating and supporting Black businesses, and from the start, because as I mentioned last week, when there's that second offering, there's the initial public offering that we're not basically privy to, because this initial public offering goes to most of the institutional banks, their best and richest clients. So I say that to say that when we support our Black businesses, we do have access to this, because then we're their biggest investors, because we are the ones that are helping the business and helping to create opportunity, help to create other jobs, help to create opportunity if folks want to work, because not everybody wants to own a business, okay? And I can't even really understand why not, because if you see how the system, the economy is going, it's not because of Amazon. There's not going to be many jobs out there, because they're building robots. They're building autonomous cars. And I know this for a fact because I do fundamental analysis and research on many of these companies. So I see what's trending, and this is one of the reasons why I'm bringing this forth and as like a warning, and that it's very important that we have to stick together and we have to support our Black owned businesses that are there, and there's many ways to establish a group economics, even if you want to start out with your own business, you can start off small, create a product, create a product, a physical item that you created and sell it, sell it to people, and as do it with folks in your community, your friends, establish that network of people and create networks with other groups other groups that get it, because this is what it's going to take. Another resource here is a product or a service. A service is any skill that you possess, in the market. Folks are willing to pay for plumbers, for mechanics, for barbers, for computer programmers. Get with folks and network and start creating some things, because again, what's trending is not looking very good. And I see the research. I see all of the trends that's coming out, and it's not a good look. You can even outsource. Outsource is contracting out businesses, and which with other parties, basically, and instead of going to Fiverr, why not pay someone in your community to outsource? A lot of times the outsourcing, they are third parties, and it's very cheap. Some of them charge $5-10 for things like computer graphics or web development and other areas in other fields, and open an online store. Open an online store, okay? Put that store in Black directories so we can band together and start supporting, one another, and make clothes. Some women make clothes. I know in my family, all the women, they sew, so I mean, I know how to sew, but it's not something that I wanted to do as a business, but make some clothes, start selling, and support one another as we are doing this, and get together with a group of people and start an investment group. I'm in many, get with your family, get with your friends, or some co-workers, some like-minded individuals who pull their money to invest, and they purchase stock, they purchase property and real estate. The ancestors say many hands make light work. Okay, many hands make light work. So when we do this, we're bringing in more capital, and creating more venture. The venture it's bigger when we do this. Besides consumerism of continuing to support these other big corporations that expect our trillions of dollars by the last quarter, which is the fourth quarter in December. They expect our trillions of dollars. Okay, so that trillions of dollars, I mean, we're talking trillions of dollars. If we would have placed it supporting each other, we could have our big corporations. And what I don't understand it. I really don't. I seen this year alone. I seen this year alone a company. A company that I'm involved in, and I mean the products, even the services. I mean, so much great opportunity, and we try to all put it out there, And I'm running on the fact that folks don't know. Okay, they don't know how the economy works, And this is another thing. Folks need to study the economy. This should be without saying. Study the economy. But because if you don't understand economics, you're less able to come up and make economics work for you. The economy has to work for us, okay? And it's not. I'm looking at the numbers and it's just not, So, I mean, but this is how we do it. This is how we do it. I mean, we're not involved in the public offering here. We're not in these major corporations. Yeah, we may have some part ownership, but we're not involved. Okay, we have really no say, really. We always involved in the second offering. But if we were to help our businesses go public, then we would be creating opportunities for us, for our families, for our communities. Right now, as it stands in many of these communities, other cultures are coming in to our communities and they're buying up the blocks. I mean, come on. This is really crazy. It's crazy. I see the neighborhoods where I used to live at. I see what's going on, and I always like to find solutions. And I'm running on the fact that folks don't know how this works. They don't know how the economy works. And if you don't know economics, if you don't know about the stock market. I mean, I'm here, I'm good at fundamental analysis. That's why I'm here every Wednesday teaching folks how to build wealth, okay? If you don't know about trading, I have friends that I'll be having coming on this BizBuzz network, and they're going to be teaching and talking about how you can join their classes. I have friends that know about the marijuana industry. You want to know about that? That will be coming on the BizBuzz network. I have so many resources that I will be bringing that there will be no excuse for folks not to know. But I'm not the only one on this net doing this. There are plenty. You don't have to come with me. You know, you don't have to come with me, because my purpose of doing this is not to compete. It's really not. You know, there are so many folks on here that are teaching about this stuff, and folks need to really get involved. I'm telling you, I'm personally here. I don't want folks to be left out. I don't feel good about the fact that, hey, I'm moving in this direction, and they're members of my family, friends, people, my people that are not moving in the same direction. They're regressing. We're not progressing, we're regressing, you know, and for whatever reason, but whatever that reason is, hey, there's help here. Folks out here, they doing it, okay? They're doing it. They're getting in the trenches and teaching folks. I mean, me personally, I love my slides. I mean, I know folks have many different learning styles. So I get on here on the net and I try to teach whether verbal. So folks that their learning style may be different. I bring the slides because some people are hands-on. They need to really see this stuff, you know? So, you know, you may want to look at books like from Dr. Anderson is a good one. Books of Powernomics is an excellent book that I've read as I was in my own classes as it relates to understanding this whole economy. Because when I was taught, my teacher not only taught me about the stock market, but he taught me about the whole economy. He taught me the whole series of China, a whole series about the oil, a whole series about the resources, a whole series about the GDPs, a whole series about just global of how this money works around here. You know, and I'm running on because I did not know. I did not know at one time. I was the same way. I didn't know. All I knew was what my parents taught me. They taught me go to school, finish college, and go and get a house and get a family, but save your money in the bank. Okay, save your money. You know, and that winds up being totally absolutely wrong, because unless it's a high yield, I mean, you're not going to really get anything, and interest is so low. I mean, it moves so slow. I mean, come on. I wish I would have known what I know today, what I known back then, you know. But these are things that I teach to my children. I teach to my grandchildren, and I'm teaching it to folks here. You know, I'll say this. I will say this. Not everybody wants to be in business. I'm not pushing that, you know, because you do what your passion is, okay? But what I'm trying to say is that this is how this economy works, okay? If you don't want to create your own business, at least support others, okay? A support other Black businesses, you know, because I do understand that being a business owner, there will be setbacks, okay? There will be blood to be drawn. And there will be friends and family that will set you up for failure if you allow it. And that's just the fog of war. Not everyone's going to support you, okay? But we must be persistent through the challenges and remain consistent and faithful, okay? Because consistency is the key, and you can't give up, okay? But it's so much that it entails, okay? And I thank you all for listening to me this evening on our Wealth Builders Stock Market Basics. And I hope that this added value. And if anyone wants any further information about how to learn about the stock market and how this whole thing works, you just send me some further information, and I'll be gladly willing to do so. But thank you for joining me on the BizBuzz Network, and may you all have a pleasant evening.